When I was growing up, the majority of people assumed that Poe wasn't quite right in the head, but not in the medicalized mental illness sense. We thought it was more in the crazy guy in the movies who sneaks out at night and kills people with an axe, then goes back to pretending to be normal, kind of way. It turns out, that probably wasn't very accurate. I don't think the case that he had bipolar disorder is proved, but it's probably a better theory than the axe murderer one. There's an entire genre of papers diagnosing historical people's mental and physical maladies. I once read one that made a case that Adolf Hitler contracted a kind of bacterial meningitis that turned him from an odd loner into a charismatic maniac. That one was a little weak but not off-the-wall crazy. You know, like Hitler himself was. Another one that was fairly interesting was a theory that Robert E. Lee may have had a heart attack a week or so before the Battle of Gettysburg. This was offered as an explanation for why he didn't seem to be operating at his best in that battle. Not long ago, I ran across one that said that Lee's old war horse, General James Longstreet, might have been in pretty poor health at Gettysburg too. I didn't read that one or even look up the paper. I can't chase down rabbit hole, can I? I'm allowed to skip one once in a while. Especially if I happen to be late for a very important date, right? I love this way of trying to understand history by applying science that didn't exist at the time. It's sort of like science fiction without the fiction. What if Napoleon kept his hand in his coat like it shows in those pictures because he had a steam-powered implant that he needed to keep his heart beating? Not working for you? Then try this. What if Bach had OCD? Think of the old and very silly TV show Monk about a detective who had a very hard time coping with life but was given special considerations because he was a genius. It might explain a little bit about Bach's music, which was intricate and yet perfectly ordered, and his sometimes difficult relationships with the people he worked with, and the ones he worked for. I'm not sure it explains the 20 children he is known to have fathered, though. No? How about this one? What if Teddy Roosevelt was on the autism spectrum, like maybe he had Asperger's syndrome, and acted the way he did because he just didn't pick up on the social cues that would have stopped someone else? That one actually kind of makes sense. Teddy was a unique guy.